it's hard in the morning, isn't it? More coffee? Hi everyone, my name is Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to the 24th episode of the Love in Stitches podcast. So today is Thursday, July 25th, and a couple things are happening for like what I think is the first time. You'll hear it in my voice that it is actually morning. I think this is the first time that I've recorded sort of an early in the morning podcast. And it is also, I'm intending to record and then post on the same day. So I think both of those two things are first for me. But that's because we just got back from vacation on 2 nights ago, like at midnight. And so yesterday was our first day at home, and I was going to record then, but all of those like little things you do when you get home from vacation, like laundry and putting your house back in order and going to the grocery store, I couldn't sit down and podcast until I had those things done. And then by that time we had other things to do. So I didn't quite get to record yesterday, but that's okay. I'm recording now, and I am recording before my Pilates class, which is why you see my bun and my workout clothes on. But I'm also going to be drinking coffee out of my PAWLEY Studios mug. I have no crochet to show in this episode, so I figured I better get my crochet mug out because I'm missing crochet right now, but I love having my coffee at home in a mug. And I'm really, really sad because this is the last day I'm gonna get to do it on a weekday because I start back to work tomorrow. Yeah, but we'll talk more about all that life stuff at the end. And also I'll talk a tiny bit about my trip to Disney World. Only a tiny bit because I had a trip in June and I talked a lot about it. So I don't want to like overdo it. But let's dive into some knitting. I have 2 finished objects this week, and they're both socks, so don't be too surprised. So the first is this pair right here. This is you might notice they look a little different. This one's a little lighter and this one's a little darker. That is just how they came out of the skein. I'm guessing one part of it got more saturated. They're actually, in the ball, they looked a lot different than they do here. So in person, they just look very, very slightly different. This one's a little darker. But this colorway is Yarn Hoarder from Leaning Men Fiber Arts. And these are the pair of socks that I use to do all of my sock series videos. So let's see. I'm trying to see what, okay, so this one here was knit cuff down, and I used an afterthought heel. And this one was knit toe up, and I also did an afterthought heel. So from a distance, they shouldn't look any different. They're really similar. The differences being like this one was the one that I started at the cuff, so I did a long tail cast on, which looks a little different from the stretchy bind off that I had to do on my toe up sock. Also the toes, I mean, they really don't look different, but one toe, let's see, this one is the one that I did a Kitchener stitch, and this is the one that I started with Judy's Magic Cast on. And you really can't tell. The heels are identical because Afterthought heel is completely like mirror image the same. So for these socks I'm trying to be better about saying how I'm making my socks. So I did 60 stitches. I did 20 rounds of ribbing, 50 rounds for the leg. And for my size like 8, 7.5, 8 women's foot, I did 65 rounds for the foot. And yeah, both socks are knit that way. So if you're having a hard time with your socks, like finishing the second one, you can knit them in tandem, which is like you start both and you like work the cuff, the leg, or you can do one cuff down and one toe up if it doesn't have like a pattern that's going to be noticeable. That's just a good way to like keep your interest, you know, keep yourself interested. I knit socks both ways, probably like 50-50 whether I start at the toe or the cuff. and it is almost entirely dependent, well, there's a bird outside. It's almost entirely dependent on my mood at the time. So you never know what I'm gonna do. I also finished another pair. Oh, by the way, the sock series is all 100% complete now. There's an intro video, which applies to both toe up and cuff down and talks about materials. There are 3 videos for toe up and 3 videos for cuff down. And then there's one afterthought heel video, which applies to both socks. Okay, definitely wanted to talk about that. Okay, so my second finished object, like I said, is also socks. And these are my Shark in the Water socks from Aaliyah Made It. And I had one knit up a couple weeks ago for like a sample. And then I did a second one as a video. So if you don't know what Sock Week is, it's not too late. It is starting on Sunday. So I'll put the links below. There's an introduction video that's short, like 10 minutes. And then there's a survival guide video, which is a little longer, more of like a podcast episode. And in that video, I knit through one of these socks. I don't remember which one. But yeah, I knit through the sock to show you how you can finish one sock in just 8 days. So what I did was I did my 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. So that's got a different ribbing than my other sock. And these are both cuff down, I should mention. So 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing, 40 rounds for the leg, which was less than those other socks. I did a fish lips kiss heel for this one. And then I did my 65 rounds for the foot, except, let's see, I did day 1, then these were days 2 and 3, day 4. I took 3 days on the foot, so 5, 6, 7, and then did the toe on day 8, and that's how I knit my sock in 8 days. So when you're making self-striping socks, I do have some tips for you in my survival guide video, because the first time I knit self-striping socks, I actually got a matching pair somehow by magic, but usually you have to be pretty intentional about where you're starting. So as you can see, mine both start with this teal color, which was on purpose, and they also both start the heel right in between darker teal and lighter aqua, or I don't know, blend blues very well, but that was on purpose too. And then they both end with that color. Although I actually had to do things slightly differently. I think it's this sock. This one has a little more gray for the toe because I got to the teal early. So that'll happen sometimes. So I've got tips for you in that survival guide video for Sock Week on how to kind of manipulate your stripes so you get nice, pretty socks. But yeah, check those videos out if you don't know what Sock Week is. I am so excited because it's starting in just a couple days, and I'm definitely going to be participating. So why don't we get into whips? So I have so many socks. This should be just like the sock episode. So I have a half finished object. This is a pair of socks that I took with me to Disney and on our trip. So I think I was like right here. I believe I'm doing these ones toe up. So I did this during the trip. So yes, these are toe up socks, 60 stitches. I have a fish lips kiss heel. And then I did a longer leg. I did a 60 round leg. And then I only did 10 rounds of the cuff. Technically I did 11 because when I do a contrast cuff, I'll do 1 round of like one just knit round to change to the new color, and then I did 10 rounds of ribbing, and I did a twisted 1x1 rib. So many choices when it comes to cuffs. So I have a half finished object, and I haven't yet woven it in or blocked it. That's why it looks so wrinkly. Not as pretty as those other ones. And then I started the second sock, and I've just barely got past the toe. So I'm just gonna put my super cute marker in here. So these markers, or this, Stitch Progress Keeper is actually loose confetti, and it is from Molly of Molly Klein Design, and I absolutely love it. I also, as I have for the past couple trips, I take this needle cozy that's also, what am I doing? there we go, from Molly Klein Design. And that has been foolproof so far and helping me get these trigo needles, which are pretty, I mean, they're pretty sharp. They look sort of dangerous, and I have been turned away by Disney security for trying to take these in. So when I have them inside this case, I just kind of put them at the bottom of my bag underneath the yarn, and they don't look threatening at all, because they're not, but also it helps, like, you know, there's yarn in there, they see that it's knitting and it doesn't look like a threat. I also took my Malia Made It bag, and this has the Disney emoji princesses on it, and it's just perfect because it's got that loop. You can see it's starting, my backpack is starting to rub off on there because I've been using it so much, but the ribbon is not wearing down yet at all. So that is my other sock whip. Now, I am going to be starting another pair of socks for Sock Week, like I was talking about. So even though, let me bend down, even though I've already made a full-size adult pair, this pair is for me. I knit it to my size, I guess. See, nobody else in my family is my size, so when I make socks with the 65 rounds, I'm the only one who they're going to fit. They would fit my mom because her feet are smaller than mine, but they won't fit my sister and they won't fit my mother-in-law, and the boys don't like hand knit socks. So these are definitely for me. Sorry, everybody. But like I said, I'm definitely participating in Sock Week. It's my first full week. So Sock Week starts on Sunday, which is the 28th of July, and it goes to the following Sunday, which is August 4th. So you can start the morning of Sunday, July 28th, and end at midnight on August 4th. So you have 8 days to knit one sock for Sock Week. And of course it is during Shark Week, which is why we have the wordplay of Sock Week. But I have all this yarn left. This is, I weighed it, I think it's like 60 grams. So I didn't actually weigh it when I started. Most sock yarns either come in 50 grams or 100 grams. So this one was definitely the 100 gram category, but it might've been over. I'm not sure, I didn't weigh it before, but I do have 60 grams left. So I know that I can make another pair of socks, right? Because I didn't even use half. So I'm going to be making shorty socks. I've still got some gray left. I'm probably just gonna reserve this for heels only. In these other socks here, I did heels and toes, so I'll probably just do heels. Actually, I might do cuffs and heels because I'm gonna make shorty socks. But these I'm going to be doing toe up. So I don't know yet. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. But I am gonna make shorty socks, and I'm gonna be making them for a Christmas gift. So I'm not gonna be making them in my size. I'm gonna be doing a 64 stitch sock. Yeah. So I'm gonna make them just slightly bigger and just slightly longer because this person has a bigger foot than me. So in my bag here, this bag is from Pinion and Sage, and I'll put the name below because I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but it looks like waves in the beach and stuff to me. So I've got my Malia Made It Shark in the Water yarn all ready to go. I've got my needles. I use US 1 2.25, and I have something else that I cannot wait to show you. Hold on, sip of coffee, check my notes before I show you this. This is so cute. Let's see, la 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 la. Okay. Yes, all right, we're on track, sorry. Okay, wait until you see this. So I have some prizes for Sock Week. So if you finish, you really need to go watch the video for the intro to Sock Week because I'm not making a whole ton of sense right now. But there are 2 ways you can win prizes during Sock Week. One is to finish your sock in the time period, and that means you have finished knitting it completely, you've bound off or grafted the toe, whichever is appropriate. You don't have to weave in your ends, and you don't have to have blocked it. That's okay. But you do have to finish, so you can enter 1 sock into the Ravelry thread. You can only enter 1 time if you complete a pair of socks. It's still 1 entry, but bravo for you. You can also enter on Instagram by using the hashtag SOCKWEEK2019. It does have to be on your feed, not in your stories, although if it's in your stories, I am most likely going to be reposting it to my stories just for fun, but it doesn't count as an entry to the giveaway. So for finishing a sock, it's more of a grand prize, so there's going to be a few more things in it, and the main thing is that you'll get your choice of one skein of yarn from our sponsor, Malia Made It. And then in the Instagram prize, it's a little bit of a smaller prize since it's just a participation prize. You will win a bag from Malia Made It, and from what I understand, it's going to be themed, so you'll really like it. And then I also am going to throw in some other goodies. So let me show you one of those other goodies. So I have one of my favorite, probably the favorite, Progress Keeper maker. She makes Progress Keepers from polymer clay, and she is Simply Serving. And Lindsay is such a great businesswoman. She has updates every Saturday at 9 a.m. I think 9 a.m. Central Time. Yeah, because it's in my time zone, Central Time. And she has new stuff every week. She usually does like a theme. I think last week it was all dragons and stuff. But she's just so creative, always coming up with new stuff. And she is the fastest shipper. She ships things like immediately. And she, for the most part, always has ready to ship stuff. So you better get it while it's there. So I thought I needed some Progress Keepers to go along with the shark themed prizes. And I saw these sand castles. So if you are a winner of either one of those prizes, you will be getting a sand castle Progress Keeper. And of course I had to get one for myself too, so this one's mine. So I've got it in my bag here ready to go for Sock Week. But then I started talking to Lindsay and I was like, Lindsay, I know it's a little bit late. This was a few weeks ago. I was like, but have you ever made shark Progress Keepers? Because it would be super cool to have shark Progress Keepers for Shark Week, and she delivered. So if you are a prize winner, then you will also get a shark. Oh my god, it's so cute. Hold on. So it's got a white belly and it has fins, and I'm not showing it very well. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it because it's got like the little gill marks. And it's got the little like kawaii eye, so it's adorable. It is so, so cute. And Lindsay was kind enough to send me an extra. So this one I get to keep, which I'm so excited. So I am gonna be using both the sandcastle and my little cute shark Progress Keeper from Simply Serving during Sock Week. Now, are you able to get these markers? Actually, I'm not sure. So you better just go follow Lindsay over at Simply Serving to see if she puts anything shark themed in this Saturday's update. I am not 100% certain. I can't make any promises. So also enter the giveaway so you have a chance to win those super cute little shark and sandcastle stitch markers. All right, I have a few more whips, or a couple more whips. And also I meant to say this in the beginning, I cannot get my air conditioning to stop. Usually I can just turn it off temporarily and it will stop blowing. But if there is a lot of background noise, there probably is because it's like right above us. I'm super sorry, and I've tried so many different settings, but I can't figure it out to get it to stop blowing out air. I mean, it says off, but again, I apologize. Sometimes it's better if you listen like on just speaker versus headphones. So I don't know, I'm so sorry. But as far as whips go, I have my Like a Cloud sweater. I have not put much work on it in the last 2 weeks since I saw you. Just a little bit, like an inch maybe. But but I still love it so much. I think that I need to make sure I knit on it for maybe like a couple hours every weekend. I just have some other projects that are more timely. This one doesn't have a deadline at all, except that it would be nice to wear once it gets cold, and that's gonna be a long time here in Texas. So I'll probably have like 6 months till I really wanna wear it. But this is Like a Cloud by Joji Locatelli. It's got a beautiful texture, and I don't know if you can see the halo on the yarn. You hold 2 strands together, and I'm actually using the recommended yarn for the pattern, which is Shibui. This one is Silk Cloud, and this one is Sima with a C. I think I'm saying that right. And it's been fun. I started it on a road trip, and it hasn't gotten a ton of work since then, but I am working on it here and there. I took it with me to Knit Night a couple weeks ago, and I have it in my new Harry Potter bag from the Ginger, I think it's the Ginger U with EWE. I don't know why I'm blanking on that right now, but I really like this bag. It is holding my sweater so far. I think it should hold it till the end. As the balls of yarn get smaller, it should be totally fine. But I love that bag. I've been getting some new bags lately, and they're so much fun. Okay, I also have a new design that I'm working on, and I'm not gonna show it to you yet for a couple reasons. But I have it in my new Mickey bag. I took it with me to Disney. This one I did clip onto my bag. Some nights I used like a carabiner, but it's a little bit bulkier of a project, so I really didn't take it with me to the parks. But I'm gonna describe it to you. And the reason I'm not showing you yet is, one, it's not done, and a lot of things can change from like construction, like thought, to what I'm actually doing. But 2, this is not the yarn that it's gonna be in. This is just a mock-up, so I don't wanna show that yet either, because I'm not entirely happy with the way I chose the colors to go together. And so in the final one, I'm gonna pick a different way they play together. But I will show it eventually, especially when I talk about this design and like how I came up with it. But this is a knitted design, which I know hopefully you're excited for, because I haven't had a knit design since February. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been a long time. So this is a knit design. It is a shawl at a fingering weight. It is a 2-color shawl. Probably, I'm not sure if it's gonna take full skeins, so we'll see. It is a asymmetrical shawl, done a little differently, but it's simple, and it has texture and color play, and yeah, I just designed it to be really simple. But again, it could change, so I'm not gonna say much more. But that has been taking up a lot of my knitting time, which is why I also basically just made socks. Okay, so I do have some projects upcoming. Like I said, I'm gonna be starting a pair of socks on Sunday for Sock Week. So that'll definitely get going. But I'm also going to be making a crochet project. So this is gonna be a little wrinkly, so I'll show it and then I'll talk. I got some sugar and cream. I ordered it off I think I ordered it from Yarnspirations. Sugar and cream, and I don't know if they do this on purpose, but they had one strand coming out of here, so I can like show you that color a little better. Hold on. Oops, I'm tearing the labels, but that's okay. So this color is called Pine. It's a dark green, and I'm gonna set this down before I make it any more wrinkly. But I'm gonna be making my largest size float tote, so the 5 skein size, by request for a family member. Actually, I think I can say it because I don't think they watch it all. So my mom asked me to make, she saw my totes. She doesn't have Instagram, but she follows my posts that they post to Facebook. And she was like, I really like those tote bags that you make. Can you make one for your sister in time? My sister is going to college this year, and her school colors include that dark green. And she's like, I want if you can make her a bag, I'm gonna put stuff in it for her to take to college. And I was like, Mom, I'm not gonna be able to find that color, because we were out that day and we went to I think we went to Michael's and they didn't have any greens. I was like, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find that color. Plus I'm leaving on vacation in 2 days and I don't know if I'm gonna get it made and then shipped to her. They live in Tennessee in time. But then of course it's your family, so you gotta make it happen. So I have some time of a couple weeks to get it done and shipped out to her. Plus I don't have to make all the buckets and stuff inside, I'm just making the tote. So I will be starting on that probably today because I really need to get started. So I'm gonna be pairing that dark green color with like the ecru color that I already have on hand and making another float tote to send off to my mom, and she'll give it to my sister, and I think that's really, really sweet. So yeah, it'll be cool. My sister is 18, so she's obviously like into, you know, all the cool stuff. I don't know, it's cool. I'm a lot older than her, so so hopefully she'll like it, which would be really awesome to have someone who's not, you know, into knitting and stuff really like that. So that's what's coming up for me. So you'll probably see more socks and float totes, and maybe I'll knit on my sweater. We'll see in the next couple weeks. But I just wanted to kind of go over some of the videos and things that came out lately. So the sock series is 100% complete. So if you're doing Sock Week, definitely use those to help you. Those are public on my YouTube channel, so they are always there as a resource. You might notice that they're kind of like, they're not all the way filled in, as in I don't always talk about like exact stitch counts or how much to knit on your foot and just some kinds of things like that, and that is actually intentional. These videos are going to be supplementary to a pattern that I'm going to have coming out. I don't know when, because I've been working on it for a while, but it's going to be like the ultimate sock pattern, and I'm just going to jam pack it with information, and then those videos will be supplementary. So that's kind of why there's not like a full cast on this many stitches, etc. You can't talk about all the sizes and everything in a video. It would be the longest video in the world. But that sock series is complete, so you can go through cuff down or toe up, or you can just go in and watch little segments of it, whatever you need. Yes, so Sock Week is starting on Sunday, the 28th. And I have 2 videos associated with Sock Week. I have the intro video and the survival guide, and both are great. The intro video, I would start there and then go to the survival guide when you're thinking, can I really make one sock in 8 days? Also my patterns, my sock patterns are all on sale. They're $5 full price, and they're on sale for $3. And just to help you, my sock patterns do not include a heel pattern. So definitely use the afterthought heel video, or if you already know a heel pattern, you can just sub it in. I also suggest getting the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern, which is $1. That's the one that I like the most. So yeah, all of those are on sale, and I think the sale will end on, it either ends on Saturday or Sunday. I'll try to put that down here. But the code is SOCKWEEK 2019, and you'll get the patterns for just the sock patterns for just $3. Woo, it's hard in the morning, isn't it? More coffee? Okay, and then, oh yeah, that's it. So I am probably gonna be winding down on videos for a little bit since I'm starting work tomorrow, but I'm still hoping to put out a tutorial video on Tuesday. So it might not be every Tuesday, maybe every other Tuesday, but I have so many ideas for tutorials and I cannot wait to get those started. So I'm kind of going to go into like a little bit of live stuff, what's coming up and what just happened. So there will still be some yarny things along the way, of course, but if you're not interested, I totally get it. So let's see. Let's talk about Disney for just a second. So we just got back from our trip to, it was just my husband and myself this time. We went to Disney World for about a week, and it was so nice. We celebrated our anniversary there, and we got to do a really cool, my husband had kind of surprised me with this dinner where you got to go to several of the resorts around Magic Kingdom and have different parts like appetizers and desserts and dinner, and take the monorail in between, and then end with dessert and watching the fireworks from afar at the Contemporary, and that was super cool. So it is, as everything is at Disney, it's not a like a super cheap thing to do, but it was definitely like the value versus what you got was definitely there. And it was a lot of fun. It was called Highway in the Sky. So that was something new that we did this trip. We also ate at some new restaurants. We took a tour. We love doing the tours. So we took a tour. It's a 5-hour tour, and it's called The Keys to the Kingdom. And you got to, when you take a tour at Disney, I don't know, I haven't taken tours really anywhere else. So I'm sure this is not like fancy technology, but the person talks to you through like a speaker thing. You just like hang it around your neck and you can hear them, which is great. And you walk around to different, this one was just different parts of Magic Kingdom. You got to see a couple of like things that only cast members usually get to see, which was really cool. And we got to ride a couple rides, we got lunch, so much fun, super worth it. If you are able to, walk around and do those things for 5 hours. I mean, we did a lot of sitting, so it wasn't like super strenuous. I would definitely recommend it. It was so fascinating to learn all the like whys behind things. I love doing that. And then I have one more thing, and then I'm gonna stop talking about Disney because it's so much. I always have a problem whenever we go to Disney with my feet. Oh my gosh. So like the day that we get there, even if it's just an afternoon, like an afternoon on kind of day, not a full day walking around, I get blisters on my pinky toes and that next toe in every single time on both feet. And my toes are kind of short and well endowed. They're pretty pudgy on the bottom, like the pads. So the pads of my toes on the bottom, that's what gets a blister on them. And it's kind of because like, if these are my toes, they kind of like fold underneath each other, like not the actual toe, but like the pad part. Anyway, if you experience this very minute weird thing as well, I have a new solution. So normally I actually get that like tape, and I just tape each, not every toe, but just these two outside toes every single day. I just tape them up so that I don't get those blisters, so they don't like cross over each other. But that one, it felt kind of like wasteful. It was taking off my toenail polish. It's just like annoying to do every day. And so I came up with a new solution, and it worked really, really well. So I got these toe socks, and they're just like crew socks. Like they're regular, like, cotton blend socks with, actually they say no show, but they show a little bit, like they're just high enough where you don't get the blister on the back of your heel. That one hurts too. But yeah, they're toe socks. And so they're keeping these are the two little offensive toes. They keep them from rubbing up against each other and getting blisters, and you don't have to, go through all this tape and Band-Aids. And it was just so great. Like it was way more comfortable too, because the tape still would kind of like stick and my toes would stick. So yeah, I have 6 pairs of these little toe socks now. I have gray with black in the middle and black with gray. And I got them on Amazon. I can link it if you're interested. But I think that, I don't know, that was my new hack for Disney or anytime you're walking a lot. I mean, maybe, obviously people are using these, so maybe it's good for like anyone who walks or runs or is on their feet a lot and their feet get hot and kind of rub against each other. I don't know, but there's a little tip for you that you may or may not have needed. I do still have one more thing. This summer has, I'm kind of reflecting on this summer a lot since I'm going back to work tomorrow. This summer has been like the most travel that I've ever done. I've been super, super spoiled to get to do all of these trips. And so I've just tried to be like not taking it for granted and super grateful, because it is easy to get used to like all that fun and travel. that we've been able to do. And when I was growing up, there's 4 of us kids in the family. Our only vacation was like driving 10 hours to grandma's, which was fine. And still enjoy doing that kind of stuff with my family. But it's so different, you know, 2 adults, my husband and I both being working and getting to do all these trips. It's not gonna last forever. And so I'm trying to really, you know, not take it for granted and enjoy. And it's been so much fun. And I definitely, you know, appreciate it. So, okay, moving on. Okay, so like I've said a million times, because I can't even believe it, I am going back to work tomorrow. And for those of you who are not teachers and you don't have this long break, you're probably thinking that, get over yourself. You got a whole summer off, that's amazing. And you are 100% right. Because it is the greatest thing ever. I wish every job had a stopping and starting point where you can kind of like refresh. It's amazing. If you have like a substantial amount of vacation days in your job, you should take like those 2 weeks off. It makes a world of difference, and you can come back with a fresh perspective. It really is really nice, and it is totally the best part of the job for me. It really is. I got to do so much this summer by means of getting my Love and Stitches and Knitty Natty things going. I wish I had done more, but like I said, we were traveling so much. But yeah, so school is starting. I cannot believe it. These kids don't actually come back for a little bit, maybe 2 weeks. I actually don't know the first day of school. I'm not a classroom teacher anymore, so the stress of like preparing my classroom is just not there. I just show up and I'm like, okay, what do we need to do today? It's great. But I'm already thinking about, sorry, that's gonna be wrinkly. I'm already thinking about my clubs. So last year actually the past 2 years I've done knitting and crochet club, and every semester I've done it different ways, but this past semester, I think I really got it going the best way, which was having short sessions of like 6 kids at a time, so I could just teach them and send them on, and teach them and send them on. I think we did 4 weeks. I did 3 4-week sessions or 2 4-week sessions, I can't remember, in the spring semester. So I think I'm gonna do that again this fall, but I have gotten ahead of the game and actually ordered my supplies. Now the kids do pay a fee for joining the club. They pay, the fee they pay covers materials only. They, of course, because I'm a teacher, we offer up the clubs for free, but they do pay for the materials and no more. Usually I end up paying a little bit for materials because I want them to have the best stuff, right? So I went on Amazon, and I don't know if hopefully I didn't show you my address. That would be weird. But let me get these out. I went on Amazon and I got a ton of hooks. So my favorite hook to use is Clover Amour. Yeah, it is Amour. I thought it was Armor for a long time. So Clover Amour, I love these hooks. So I don't remember the first time I got one. Sorry. But once I tried them, like, they're just, the way that the handle works for me and the way that I crochet is absolutely perfect. It's got that sort of ergonomic handle. It's not squishy, but it is soft, and it has a flat, like where you put your thumb, like the way I hold it, where I put my thumb is flat but not curved. So like for some of those handles, if you don't hold it right where that thumb curve is, it's not gonna work for you. But this will work for you because it's flat. There's not a thumb curve. I think that it is so good for kids to have good tools, because those just, you know, regular aluminum crochet hooks like Susan Bates and stuff, you know, I'm teaching 4th and 5th graders to crochet and knit, and their dexterity is not the same as an adult. It is good. It is not the same as a 2nd grader or 1st grader, but it is still not the same as it is for an adult. And so having good tools like this really helps them, I think, to learn. But these are kind of pricey. At the store, I think they're like $8 maybe a piece. And I always try to buy with coupons because I'm spending, you know, my kids' parents' money and I want to get them the best prices. So I try to use coupons. But the problem is when I go into the store, I buy all of, like, I usually get H for them. I get all of the H's and there's only like 3. And I usually have at least 6 kids at a time. So when I first knew that I loved these hooks, I went on Amazon to look for them to get the set. The set is like $70 or $80. And on Amazon, it was like $35 because it was on sale. So I snapped that up and I remembered that. And so I went to look for the hooks on Amazon, and sure enough, I just happened to look when they were on sale. So I think these were $3.50 a piece. So about the same I could get them with a coupon, except that I got to buy 15 of them instead of just 3 at a time, which would take so much more time and energy to go back and forth to the store like several times to get enough hooks. So if you, for yourself, or if you're looking to stock up your, like if you are also teaching people to knit or crochet and you like a certain type of hook, check Amazon, they might have it, but I love those Clover Amours. Okay, last thing, and then I gotta go to Pilates. I don't actually know what time it is, I hope I'm not late. But I had a private goal for my YouTube channel this summer, and that was to reach 1,000 subscribers. There's a couple of like achievements unlocked at 1,000 followers, and I'll talk more about those in another episode probably because they're not really relevant yet. But it's a very important milestone on YouTube, and I kind of looked at where I was once school got out, and I was like, you know, by the time I go back to school, I'd really like to be at 1,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna put out, you know, as much video content as I can. It was a private goal. I didn't share it out or anything, except to my husband. We talked about it a lot. And as you know, I'm going back to school tomorrow. And so I was like, you know, I'm really, really close, which is great. I'm happy. And then I woke up this morning and I was at 1,000 followers or subscribers. So I am so excited, and just in time, I have met my goal. And thank you so much for watching and subscribing to my videos and commenting and all of the things that you do. It's so much fun. It is such a fun community. But because I have 1,000 followers, I'm going to be hosting a giveaway for that very soon. I've already got some pretty yarn on the way, so I will show that when it gets here, but just stay tuned. It might be a couple episodes from now, but as soon as I get that, we'll get that 1,000 subscriber video, or giveaway going. But I think that's it. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.